Shalom friends, welcome back to another very Jewish makeup tutorial, another glamulet. Let's do it. As before, I am already wearing the Elias Super Serum Skin Tint. It has SPF, which means it protects me from my nemesis, the sun. I'm also wearing the Vegan Collagen Lip Balm from Pacifica. For eye primer, I'm going to be using this MAC Paint Pot in Painterly. It's giving the bones of Yosef that Sarach bat Asher had to tell Moses where to find before the Israelites left Egypt during the Exodus. Yeah. Okay, now, onto eyeshadow. I'm going to use this Norvina palette from Anastasia. Today's daf is Sota 17, and it talks about why the color blue is important in Judaism. So that's the look we're going to be inspired by today. We're going to start with this color called Base. Wow, that's self-explanatory. And we're just going to blend it all over the lid. And remember, blending. Now I'm going to go in with this color called Incense. So there's a story in Tractate Brachot, and this one sage usually left his wallet or something with an innkeeper on his travels to go learn. And, you know, one day he comes back, but it turns out the innkeeper has passed away and she has been buried. And he's like, oh, God, I left my wallet. So he goes to the cemetery and he goes to the grave of this innkeeper who has passed away and says to her, hey, any idea where my credit cards are? And she's like, oh, yeah, they are hidden here. And she tells him where to find it. And in return, she's like, hey, can you actually go visit my mom and ask her to take my eyeshadow and give it to this woman, Sharon, let's call her Sharon. Give it to Sharon because Sharon is going to pass away tomorrow. So this way Sharon can bring the eyeshadow when she's interred here. I think this story demonstrates a few very important things. But primarily the takeaway is take your eyeshadow with you everywhere. You never know when you want to make your skull a little bit more glam. Be prepared. Next, I'm going to go in with this blue shadow that is called Soul. And I'm going to pat that in and then blend it into the outer third of the lid and then blend it upwards and outwards. I decided to switch palettes back to the Pacifica one because they have a color called Blue Whale. I'm using blue because in today's daf, as I mentioned, they're talking about the importance of blue in Judaism. That the color blue is reminiscent of the sea, which is reminiscent of the sky, which is reminiscent of the throne of glory that God has, which is sapphire. The blue signifies the bond between the Jewish people and the Shekhinah. I'm going to blend this out now because it's a lot of blue. Back to the Norvina using the color Volatile. Because I want to add a little bit more dimension into the corner. Okay, now we haven't really done anything in the center of the lid, so I'm going to go in with this color, the pink color. It's called Love. So I'm going to pop that onto the center of the lid. I think to represent the Shekhinah in all of this, I'm going to use this palette from Anastasia. It's the Moonchild highlighter kit, and it's got a lot of colors, including blue. Center of the eyeball, and pink heart I'm going to put towards the inner corner. It is time for making a wing as sharp as the kniff of the Angel of Beth. I've got black shadow on an angled brush, and again, this is the wrong angled brush. I'm going to do it anyway though. So I start by looking forward into the mirror. Then I look down to see if there's any skips and just fill that in. Okay, so now that we've done the Angel of Beth's wing, we're gonna go do the under wing, the secondary wing. I bought Sansa a new bed, you see, and she's destroying it. Honey, since this one is the Angel of Beth's kniff wing, I'm going to call this one underneath, the secondary wing the shadow wing. I'm going to call that the Chad wing. You know that make your own kind of music meme with Nick Cage and Pedro Pascal? I think that gives really big Angel of Beth and Chad vibes if I'm fan casting. Pedro would really make quite an excellent Rachel Lakeith. Don't at me. It's just what I think. Sacha Baron Cohen is Bar Kappara. Taika Waititi is Abaye. Jennifer Coolidge is Abaye's mom. I would watch the absolute shit out of that. That's all I'm saying. Lash curling time. And mascara. I had forgotten a step, so let's put it back in now. It is using a tight liner. I'm using the Honest Beauty pencil in purple since I have brown eyes, but this makes them look green. I have all this fallout, you see, from the shadow, which is why I recommend doing that first before doing any concealing. It's just like, it's like the dust that Ahsoka has to drink in her disgusting smoothie. So I'm going to clean this up, do concealing, contour, and then I'll be back. You want to look like you've just been studying the Song of Songs with the chavruta you think is cute, and hence you blushed. Twinkle paint. I'm going to set everything with the Glossier Wowder. For highlight today, I'm going to be using the Anastasia Glow Kit. Take a brush, go into the butterscotch, mix it with the gumdrop colors, and that I'm going to put right under the midpoint of my eye. Dee, 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 dee. You don't have to do the sound effects unless you find it really helpful. So because I went pretty hard on the blue color, it's actually a lot darker in person than it is on camera. I'm not going to do anything too dark on the lips. I'm going to use the Tarte Jelly Glaze Lip Gloss. And last but not least, I'm going to use the Milk Hydro Setting Spray to make sure everything stays put, and I'm going to spray it in the shape of a Jewish star. And here's the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you next time for another Glamulet.